As of July 1st, Barbadians will have to pay more for almost every single item we consume or use on a daily basis. From a simple Panadol tablet for the headaches these taxes will cause, from cough syrup, to clothing, to appliances, to furniture, to stationery, you name it, everything will go up. The impact of the National Social Responsibility Levy has now become the bitter and painful pill for the reality that confronts all of us in Barbados. Though the Minister of Finance has proclaimed that the basket of goods that will be exempt from the National Social Responsibility have been put in place, we are yet to see the required legislation brought to Parliament to enforce the exemption. Therefore, customs officers will have, because it's a law of the land, to apply the 10% at the border, meaning that distributors and retailers will also have to pass on those costs until such time as the legislation has been brought to Parliament. This is yet another example of the poorly conceptualized and poorly implemented fiscal policy on the part of Mr. Sinclair and the Democratic Labour Party government. But even when, or if, the appropriate legislation is put in place, we will all still be faced with a steep rise in the cost of living in this country. Simple items which are not in the basket, such as toiletries, detergents, cleaners, sanitary products, which are just a few, these are all things that will go up because of the incompetence of this government. In addition, come August, when the back-to-school program across this country is at its peak, these measures will increase the cost of school supplies, stationeries, uniforms, at a time when households are already under stress. Additionally, the price of gasoline and diesel for our vehicles and motor cars, in addition to weed whackers, they will also go up. But what's most important is that this is the hurricane season. And so therefore these fuels, which will be used in standby generators in the event that there's a hurricane, will also increase. It is particularly tough at this time for persons also running small businesses, because they too will have to pay more just to live and survive in this country, but certainly their cost of operations will also increase. Food and fruit vendors, owners of boutiques, salons, barbers, hair and nail salons, repair shops, restaurant owners, all will face an increased cost to their operations. And if that is not enough, in addition, the foreign exchange fee will also be financially devastating. When you purchase a product from overseas, you now will have to pay an extra 2% tax just to have the products forwarded to the freight forwarder. Then you have to pay the additional tax for shipping to Barbados. When you go to the port to collect your items, you also have to pay for the entry, for duties, value-added tax, as well as the environmental levy, in addition to the National Social Responsibility Levy. Further, if you pay by credit card, that too will also attract the 2% tax for the foreign exchange fee for the use of foreign exchange. The Minister's latest backpedaling announcement that this foreign exchange fee will now be delayed is yet another example of how the poor crafting and implementation of the draconian policies have been implemented in the first place. Far too often, too many times, this minister has announced new measures only to have some delay over the confusion as to what is applied to and its implementation. And so therefore, it's another example that these policies have not been well thought out from the outset. Regardless of the uncertainty of the implementation date, the one thing that is for certain is that these measures will wreak unheard of suffering in the lives of ordinary Barbadians at a time when it is already extremely difficult for so many of us to simply live from day to day. Thank you.